Hi, my name's Pete Grylls. I am a survival expert. After years of serving in the Notch Special Forces, I have picked up survival techniques that will help me survive many different situations throughout the Minecraft world. The transport dropped Pete off at sunrise, and the first thing Pete has to do in this snowy episode is check the ice to see if it's stable enough to walk across. Any unstable ice could cause Pete to fall through the ice and into the freezing cold ocean, where he would freeze to death. After carefully checking the ice, Pete realizes it's safe to cross, and he crosses the frozen sea to the other side to see what he can find to help him survive the first day. At first, Pete just finds random little caves and more ice and snow. On today's episode, Pete only has very few tools to help him to survive as well. He has a couple of spades, a couple of pickaxes, some sticks, and some torches. Pete uses the sticks to kill a cow. The reason for killing the cow is it drops leather, which could be vital later on if Pete needs some extra layers of clothing to stay warm to keep himself alive. Pete collects the leather from the cow and sets about looking for more cows and wood so he can build maybe a fire later. After a short hike through the snow, Pete finds a tree and goes about breaking the wood off with his sticks. This wood could be used for many different things, such as building tool benches, chests, more sticks, and various tools, or even a fire later on. Pete has to replace down certain blocks of wood to be able to reach the higher wood. Pete can then break the wood from under his feet when he's finished. Pete soon is able to reach the wood at the top of the tree and grab the wood, and now he can break the wood from under his feet to lower himself back down to the ground to continue his survival journey. Pete starts to chop down another tree. Pete decides that additional wood would be good, considering that he has no idea where he's going to stay tonight, and he may have to build it out of wood and planks. Pete decides it's time to make use of some of the wood he's collected. He puts it into his crafting slot and builds 56 planks from the wood, and then he takes 4 of the planks and builds himself a crafting table. This crafting table will become very useful later. To Pete's surprise, there is a patch of pumpkins in the snowy landscape. Pumpkin patches are pretty uncommon in the world, and especially ones which has quite a few pumpkins like this one. Pete collects the pumpkins, and although there may be no need to use them, Pete collects them anyway. Pete also sees another cow and takes his crafting table and starts to smash the cow to pieces with the crafting table. After a while, the cow dies and Pete collects another couple pieces of leather. Pete still does not have enough leather to make some clothing, but a couple more cow kills and Pete will be able to keep himself a bit more warmer during the frozen night. As the day slowly becomes night, Pete realizes it's time he has to build a snow hole. Snow is a really good insulator and can keep you much warmer than the outside. Pete digs in a little way into the snow. He uses his trusty pickaxe to remove some of the stone in the area. This will be his home for the night. Pete continues to dig it out, the little snow hole, and soon he can put his crafting table down like that. And with the crafting table he can now build a wooden door. This will keep the monsters out and also a lot of the cold. Having no flint and tinder, Pete cannot build a fire, and as he has not found iron, it is very unlikely he will be able to build a fire for tonight. But Pete is very well insulated in the snow, and he should be fine. Now Pete has a snow home for the night. He goes outside to make use of the rest of the day. He finds another cow and hopes to get some more leather. Luckily he gets another piece of leather. And luckily there's another cow nearby. So Pete can hopefully get yet some more leather to build some insulated clothing for the night. The cow dies and Pete gets lucky. Another piece of leather. He now has 5 pieces and can build a hat for the night. Pete returns home again and decides to use some of his torches he's collected to light up the entranceway. This is helpful if he needs to ever find this place again. Being inside, he realises it's a little cramped and could do with some more room. Pete uses his pickaxe and chips away at more of the stone. He also shuts the door to make it a little bit warmer inside. Pete finally can make some insulated clothing for the night. With 5 pieces of leather, Pete is able to make a leather cap, which is yet able to equip on his head to keep his ears and face warm during the night. It's now fully dark outside, and now Pete needs to settle down for the night as he has a long day ahead of him tomorrow. Pete puts some extra torches on the wall. Not only does it give him extra light for the night, it gives him some bit of extra warmth without fire. All the warmth he could get is good at this point. Pete decides to make use of the time he has left to make some preparations for the next day. Pete is going to build some ladders. These ladders will help Pete in his journeys tomorrow to climb up to places which otherwise would either take a long time to reach or he wouldn't able to reach at all. Pete uses up his entire load of sticks building ladders. This is to ensure he has enough when tomorrow comes. Pete will not need to use the sticks as he has a small stack of wood remaining. Pete can use the wood to make a wooden bed for the night, not as comfortable as a woolen bed, but in this circumstance it will have to do, and Pete can also reuse the wood in the morning. Pete starts to build his small wooden bed. It looks very, very uncomfortable, but it will have to do. Pete settles in for the night, and when he wakes up, he'll have a long journey ahead of him if he's to make it to the transport in time.